Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Teresa Jukowitz. We're glad y'all are in here. Hope everybody had a good night's rest. We are November the 10th. Golly, we're already in the double digits of November 2024, and we're going to be in chapter 10 of Proverbs that syncs up with that date of the 10th. And it starts out, the heading says wise sayings. Good morning, Teresa and Rebecca. Good morning, Joey. Wise sayings of Solomon. Pull everything a little closer. Had to reassemble my production setup this morning before I could come online. Let's see. All right. Wise sayings of Solomon. Verse 1 of chapter 10, the Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son is the grief of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivers from death. The Lord will not allow the righteous soul to famish, but he casts away the desires of the wicked. Verse 4. He who has a slack hand becomes poor, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. And a note on verse 4 says, earning a profit without work is a dream. God's people should focus on their work, the hand of the diligent, and enjoy the fruits of their labor. Both are gifts from God. Absolutely. Verse 5, he who gathers in summer is a wise son. He who sleeps in harvest is a son who causes shame. Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked will rot. Not. The memory, I'm going to read that again. It's verse 7. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise in heart will receive commands, but a parting fool will fall. Verse 9. He who walks with integrity walks securely, but he who perverts his ways will become known. There's a note on verse 9. It says, integrity comes from the word integer, which is a whole number in mathematics. Integrity is a mindset and a willingness to be and do what is wholly and completely right as defined by God, regardless of personal cost or place. Whether in public or in private, there is congruence. Now we're at verse 10. He who winks with the eye causes trouble, but a parting fool will fall. The mouth of the righteous is a well of life, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all sins. Wisdom is found on the lips of him who has understanding, but a rod is for the back of him who is devoid of understanding. Wise people stir up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. The labor of the righteous leads to life. The wages of the wicked is sin. Verse 17. He who keeps instruction is in the way of life, but he who refuses correction goes astray. And the note there says, spoiled children often live unproductive lives, just as good parents expect loving and careful correction on their children. Exert loving and careful correction on their children. God does the same for his children. Discipline is God's way to lovingly return his sons and daughters to the right path. Verse 18. Whoever hides hatred has lying lips, and whoever spreads slander is a fool. In the multitude of words, sin is not lacking, but he who restrains his lips is wise. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver. The heart of the wicked is worth little. The lips of the righteous feed many, but the fools die for lack of wisdom. The blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. To do evil is like sport to a fool, but a man of understanding has wisdom. The fear of the wicked will come upon him, and the desire of the righteous will be granted. When the whirlwind passes by, the wicked is no more, but the righteous has an everlasting foundation. As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is the lazy man to those who send him. Verse 27. The fear of the Lord prolongs days, but the years of the wicked will be shortened. And a note there on verse 27 says, the one who fears the Lord will act in conformity to his will. The one who does not fear the Lord will ignore his commands. Longer life comes to those who live as God's intended. As God intended, not God's intended. And verse 28. The hope of the righteous will be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked will perish. The way of the Lord is strength for the upright, but destruction will come to the workers of iniquity. Okay, I lost focus. In my eyes, not my thoughts. Let's see, verse 30. The righteous will never be removed, but the wicked will not inhabit the earth. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but the perverse tongue will be cut out. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked, what is perverse. Okay, that wraps up chapter 10. Let's jump over to, hey, Jake. I don't see where Jake's at. Somebody's saying hi to Jake. Hi, Joy. Hi, Jake. Jake. I don't see him, but that's okay. I don't have to. Let's jump over to Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 20. So yesterday morning, after I left here, after this study, I went to Jack. Oh, good morning, Teresa. I'm sorry. I went to a men's Bible study where I had the privilege of leading it. Once a month we do a men's breakfast for our church. No, don't be sorry. It's okay. I thought Jake Husden was in here. And I give a little message. It's never a big drawn out message on the men's breakfast. We do have a men's Bible study where the messages are way more in depth than the study. And I did it on the last two verses of this Ephesians 6 through 20. I did it on verse 19 and 20. And I think it went over well. There's a song that's on a lot of YouTube reels and whatever they call it on other channels, the little short clips. and it's The Sound of Silence is the name of the song, but there's a clip in there that says people talking without thinking. And in my mind, that just went to, hey, what do we say to people with our body language, with our actions? If we're professing to be Christians, can you tell that by our actions without ever saying any word? It's great to lead. Yeah, it's a privilege. I promise you, it's a blessing. And then I jumped over to those two verses, and I'm going to read them right quick. It says, "And for me that utterance may be given to me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, that in it I may speak as boldly as I ought to speak." And then I tied that together. So what kind of body language are we giving off messages? And when opportunity arises, are we keeping our mouth shut, or are we telling people about Jesus? So anyway, just a little, no extra charge for that. Admission price is the exact same. You get what you pay for, right? I hope you got a little something out of that. I thought it was interesting. Let's see, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Let's put on our armor, y'all, so we can face this beautiful Sunday. I don't know what the weather's like outside. I hadn't even looked. I can see outside, but I hadn't been outside. Verse 10. My eyes are really not wanting to focus this morning. "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand, stand therefore, having girded your waist with truth, having put on a breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints. And for me, the utterance may be given to me, that I may open my mouth boldly, make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, that in it I may speak boldly as I ought to speak." And that wraps it up. We are ready to face our day. We've got our armor on. We've got a little bit of word in us. It is Sunday. If you have the ability and you have a church, go and fellowship with your community. And if not, find one, pick one out, or go online. Creekside Chronicles is coming up soon. I forget what time they start on Sunday mornings, but Creekside Chronicles is a great online service and church service. You're welcome, Teresa. I'm so glad you guys come in and join me. Challenge you guys to go be a blessing today, and just say God bless y'all. And I'll see you again on Veterans Day, which happens to be tomorrow. God bless.